Okay, I'm glad to be joined by Mike Salmen, who was recently named leader of the Midwest Capital Markets team for Transwestern Real Estate Services. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great today. Thanks, Brian.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me today. So just it's for I want to ask you about your new role with the company. Looks like you've been with Transwestern for a lot of years, but you're transitioning into some new duties. Wonder if you could just talk a little bit about that and kind of what you've done in the past and sort of how your what your new duties will entail.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I started the local office of Transwestern in about 1996 with some partners. We were not Transwestern at that time. We were a company called Equity Commercial Services, basically merged our entity with Transwestern in 2007. So been with Transwestern officially about 16 years now, and with the entity that now is Transwestern here in Minneapolis for about the last 27 years. So
Mhm.
it has been a while, and I've been really doing a little bit of everything. I was a player coach, basically running the office as well as doing quite a bit of production for the first, well, through about 2018. And we were able to identify someone here locally that is doing just an awesome job of running our operations, Greg Munson. So he came in about 2018, and I then was able to focus 100% of my time on production, selling, and leasing office and industrial buildings primarily. And so I have been doing really a little bit of everything still since about 2018, and now I'm going to focus my attention on really the capital markets sector in our Midwest region, which includes offices here in Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. So we've got some great professionals there, and as well as here in the Twin Cities. And really, the goal is to kind of grow that platform here for Transwestern in the Midwest.
Great. And so you are based here in Minneapolis, correct?
I am in Minneapolis, born, raised, and always have been, and always will be here in Minneapolis. Yes.
I saw from your resume you were attended the University of St. Thomas, I believe, and then went on to Carlson School of Management at the U of M. So
That is correct. Always kind of East Side guy. Lived grew up in St. Paul and now live out in Mendota Heights, and went to school at St. Thomas for my undergraduate degree, and got a graduate degree in finance over at the University of Minnesota. So
great.
local boy.
Gotta love those Tommies and the Golden Gophers here.
Yeah, darn right. Interesting to see St. Thomas and their success so far, and moving up to the Division I level. And
Mhm.
before you know it, they may overtake our University of Minnesota folks in at least several of the sports.
Yeah, well, we should do a sports chat sometime, but
Yeah, yeah.
getting back to commercial real estate, one thing that sort of jumped out at me and just reading the press release about your promotion, you mentioned Greg Munson, executive managing director. He talked about your experience and relationships that you've garnered throughout your career, and that you have the perspective required to navigate the challenges and opportunities facing owners and investors today. I was wondering if you could just expand on that a little bit and talk a little bit more about some of the challenges and opportunities.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've been doing this for 35 years now, maybe even a little longer. I don't want to date myself, but yeah, I've been doing this since 1987. And again, I've seen a lot of cycles, some good, some not so good, and again have really worked in a lot of different sectors, both here in the Twin Cities, and again done quite a bit in terms of deals in other markets as well. I've also probably got as much familiarity with Transwestern and our regional and national platform as anyone. having been with that company since 2007. I know a lot of the people, and again, it's just an extremely talented group that I'm excited to again continue to work with, and hopefully, utilize all of their great talent and experiences to improve our delivery to clients, again, not only here in the Twin Cities, but the Midwest. And so we are facing a real estate market that is unique, and one that, frankly, I'm not sure we've ever seen before. So even in the 35 years I've been doing this, we are facing a unique real estate market. Again, just coming out of the pandemic, the office market is really in shambles, and we're not really sure how that will play out here as we figure out if people will continue with a remote work solution, or hybrid, or full-time back in the office, or probably a combination thereof. But yeah, the office market is really seeing a transformation, and combine that with some of the issues that we've encountered with safety in downtown, and really throughout our suburban markets as well. It's just adding a real question mark to how we will recover here in the office market. And so I think that dynamic is playing out not only here in the Twin Cities, but in many urban areas around the country, in the Midwest specifically. And so we're navigating that in conjunction with how do rising interest rates and low unemployment rates impact our recovery, and are we in a recession? Are we going into a recession, or will we be able to avoid it? And unfortunately, avoidance might mean that we continue to see interest rates increase. And from the real estate perspective, higher interest rates have a huge impact on our market. So not only the office market, but the industrial markets, the multifamily markets, you name it, every product type is hit when we see interest rates go up. Some more than others. The good news is we've had a robust industrial market. Demand still seems to be very strong for industrial tenants and companies throughout the Midwest. Multifamily continues to show strong demand, and signs are that will continue for both industrial and multifamily product types throughout the Midwest. I think we'll again continue to see office demand struggle. We'll see a lot of repurposing of those assets, and with that, I think comes opportunity. So yes, we've got some problems ahead, but we'll see a lot of owners really needing some good advice, good consultation, and our goal as a full service company is to provide the right solution to our clients and solve their problems. And some may need to be recapitalized. Some assets may need to be recapitalized. Some may need to be repositioned, and some may need to be sold. And our goal is to try to help them, navigate the complexity of the current situation and the current market, and provide them the right solution. Transwestern, again, is a full service company, and so as the capital markets lead, of course, we want to provide those capital solutions, be it equity or debt, but we also know that that's not always the direction they'll go. And so if there's a repositioning or a remodeling or a redevelopment of a site, we want to be the ones to help our clients through that. So our goal is to again solve problems for some very unique issues that our clients are going to face here in the next couple of years, and again, this capital markets platform that we're hoping to kind of grow and continue to improve will help our clients do that.
Yeah, with regard to the office market, one thing I've been hearing a lot lately is there's been a flight to quality. I was wondering if you could maybe talk a little bit about that and how property owners are being creative to address the needs of the users out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, kind of to my earlier point, people are trying to figure out how to get their employees back into the office. Owners of real estate are trying to figure out how to get companies to come to their building so that they can, help get people into the office. And really, flight to quality is happening, and for good reason, right? We need to provide workplaces for our employees that they're excited to come into, right? It used to be where, people had to come in at 8 o'clock on 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and they didn't have a choice. Well, they have choices now, and their employers understand that. So we need to provide a workplace that is enticing to employees to come to. And so the nicer buildings with the better amenities in neighborhoods that are walkable, that have amenities nearby. Those are the winners in today's marketplace for, office space. And so you're seeing newer buildings doing very well. You're seeing renovated, remodeled buildings with a strong amenity package do well. The ones that aren't doing so well are the Class B and C buildings that maybe are in remote areas that don't have neighborhoods that people want to be in, that are struggling. And downtown, again, I don't have any doubt that we'll see a resurgence of our downtowns, but for now, there's been some, again, safety issues probably first and foremost. But we're going to just see some of these B and C buildings get repurposed, potentially demolished, in favor of the Class A high amenity properties. And those buildings are not only seeing great activity and demand, but seeing rental rates that really are unprecedented for the Twin Cities area. And again, downtown, like I say, is probably not the location where we're seeing a strong demand and absorption, but again, that'll come back. And so I would just tell you that the buildings in high demand areas, high quality buildings will absolutely win the day in the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, so high quality buildings, high demand areas on the office side. How about industrial? Are there certain product types out there that are maybe doing better than others right now in the or is it just across the board?
No, I think the high bay industrial is still doing very well, and there's strong demand. So we've seen localized distribution really become a popular thing here in the Twin Cities. We are not known as a distribution, or have not historically been known as a
Let me just okay. Thank you.
There we go. Yes, I'm sorry. So we've not historically been known as a distribution hub here in the Twin Cities, but as we've seen Amazon and other big warehousing and distribution companies come into town to again deliver next day and same day type service. It has absolutely kind of moved our Twin Cities market into a little different position. Seeing a lot of demand in the high bay distribution. I see that continuing. I also would say, even it trickles down into the lower clear height type warehouse spaces. But we probably will see a little sluggishness in the, office showroom, the higher office finish spaces for some of the reasons we've talked about. Again, just the workplace, the office users are tending to, have a remote or hybrid work schedule. And so kind of those higher finish spaces, warehouse spaces probably are not going to be in quite the demand they have been. But again, I see a very positive future for the high and mid bay warehouse spaces. They'll do well.
Okay. Are you seeing any particular what's your outlook for multifamily in particular, and some of the particular product types, whether it be student housing, senior, what's your outlook there?
Yeah, I'd say we are still underserved, as crazy as that sounds. We still are underserved on apartment, senior, and student housing. So I would tell you that we're going to continue to see demand in those areas. Again, interest rates certainly are slowing some of that new development, but it's still happening, and I think we'll see that continue to be strong for many years to come.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been monitoring the single family permits have been going down, but multifamily still seems to be hanging in there. I've heard concerns about certain areas where they're having rent control policies and things like that on the multifamily side. But
well, with St. Paul and Minneapolis and some other communities, kind of those first ring suburban communities are, talking about it as well. But St. Paul certainly, saw what happens when you implement a rent control policy, and unfortunately, kind of a poorly crafted rent control policy. I think there are changes going to be made there, and Minneapolis is kind of getting close to implementing a rent control policy as well. Hopefully, it does make exception for new buildings and provides for at least some inflationary adjustment as well. But we got to watch out there, because sometimes even the best intentions lead to the wrong result. And the St. Paul multifamily development just essentially stopped when that policy was put in place, and they needed to make some adjustments to get that going again. So hopefully we see new construction continuing in those markets, because we need it both, at the market rate level as well as the affordable level.
Well, just circling back again to kind of your story, I'm always interested in why people get into the business that they're in. What attracted you to this line of work?
I would tell you that it was by accident. I was an accounting major in college, and was thinking about maybe going to law school thereafter, and took a part-time job at a company called Welsh Companies, which is now evolved into Colliers, and ended up deciding, this isn't so bad. I had fun doing it, made a little bit of money, and thought, what, I'll do this until I'm not having any more fun. And I continue to have fun doing it. Wake up every day and don't feel like I'm going to a job. I'm enjoying every minute, every day, and continue to 35 years later. So a little bit by accident, but now I think I'm probably here for the duration.
Awesome. Well, good luck in your new role. I think very interesting conversation. You've covered everything I wanted to ask you, but do you have any other parting thoughts before I let you go?
No, I think we've covered it. Thank you for taking the time, and enjoy serving our clients here in the Twin Cities and in the Midwest for the next several years. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk to you.
Well, thank you, Mike, and have a great day. We'll talk again
Thanks,
soon,
Brian.
hopefully.
Okay. Yep. Bye now.
Bye.